A woman is standing outside a skyscraper. She raises a sniper rifle and aims at the pedestrians down below. Then, she starts firing shots one after another, but every single bullet misses. It's not because she's a bad shot, though. It's because she's doing it on purpose. A criminal is threatening the life of a pregnant woman and is forcing her to shoot at the people below. His goal is to trick the police into thinking she's a real criminal. Turns out, just before all this happened, the criminal, named Noah, used a fancy dinner party as a cover to kidnap a bunch of high-ranking officials and company shareholders who were there. After that, he drugged everyone else and took them hostage. He thought he had it all wrapped up, but he didn't count on one thing: a cleaning lady hanging outside the building. Turns out she's a former Special Forces soldier, and a chaotic showdown is about to go down. Our main character, Joey, is a former military veteran who now works as an outdoor cleaner for an energy company. This job is actually a personal passion for her. Ever since she was a little kid, Joey loved climbing walls and crawling all over everything in the house. Joey has an autistic brother named Michael, and their parents fought all the time because of it. One day, her alarm clock wakes Joey up from a dream, and she realizes she's about to be late for work. Joey quickly washes her face and makes breakfast, but before leaving the house, she gets a call telling her she needs to come pick up Michael. Because of her busy work schedule, Joey had previously put Michael in a specialized care center. But since Michael isn't very well behaved, he can't stay at any of these places for very long. This is already the 9th place that Michael has been kicked out of. The current supervisor says that Michael stole confidential account information from the center and leaked it to the local media. This is Michael's first attempt to bypass the center's online security system. In fact, it's a criminal matter. The supervisor says that Michael is lucky he wasn't prosecuted for data theft. She also tells Joey that she needs to take Michael back home. Michael agrees to leave, and Joey has no choice but to accept it. But as soon as they get out of the house, she gets a call from her boss, who threatens to fire her for being late. After explaining the situation, her boss tells her she has to be at the office by 2 p.m. Joey hangs up, and they hop on her motorcycle, but the bike breaks down, and they have to take the bus instead. The whole way there, Joey keeps asking Michael if he knows who hacked the center's accounts, but Michael doesn't answer. Instead, he just says that they got on the wrong bus. Joey has to quickly switch buses. Her boss keeps texting her, pressuring her to hurry up. If Joey doesn't make it on time, she's really going to get fired. Unfortunately, when they get off the bus, Michael has a meltdown because he forgot to bring his charger. Joey hugs Michael to comfort him, and eventually, Michael calms down and feels guilty. At this point, Joey has no idea that she's about to have an unforgettable experience. Finally, Joey gets to the company before 2 p.m. Michael sits in the lobby while she goes to get her work done. Joey is still worried about Michael, so she calls a co-worker to help look after him, and she keeps reminding Michael to behave himself. Then, Joey squeezes into the elevator. Today, the energy company is hosting a party, so there are a lot of shareholders at the company. In the elevator that Joey is riding, there are some pretty arrogant shareholders. When a pregnant cleaning lady gets into the elevator, they all act disgusted. Like being in the same space as her is an insult. She should just get off now. One of them says she should be at home. Maybe if the company gave her proper maternity leave, I wouldn't have to be here with her right now. One of the angry shareholders says, then steps out of the elevator. Inside the elevator, Joey smiles at the pregnant woman. Soon after, Joey gets to the top floor of the building, where her boss has been waiting for a long time. Luckily, Joey is only 17 seconds late, so her boss can't really complain. He just tells her to adjust her attitude and assigns Joey to the floor she'll be working on today. Joey quickly goes to the locker room, changes into her safety gear, and fastens all the safety clips. Then, she gracefully slides down from the roof of the building, starting her aerial work for the day. Before long, a co-worker slides over to Joey, and they start catching up and gossiping for a bit. On the other side of the building, Michael is still sitting in the lobby, and one of Joey's co-workers kindly brings him some food. However, right now, he notices something unusual at the door. He hurriedly runs outside, and in that one moment of distraction, Michael takes advantage of the opportunity and sneaks away. Meanwhile, Gerald, the guy who was just rude to Joey in the elevator, is furious. He calls HR and demands that they fire someone, specifically the window washer. However, HR says that this matter needs to be discussed with the window washer's manager. Gerald has to restrain his anger. After all, he has a TV interview later today. The female reporter interviews them. Gerald is the CEO of the energy company, while his brother Jeffrey is the owner of the company. The energy market is booming right now, and the company is doing very well. In the evening, there will be a shareholder party. So the reporter asks them what the reason is for the company's success. Jeffrey's answer is very formal, not too impressive, but acceptable. After the interview ends, Gerald gets busy with preparations for the party. Jeffrey has prepared a detailed speech for the shareholders, along with professionally looking promotional video on the screen. But suddenly, the microphone makes a loud, screeching noise. The busier you are, the easier it is to make mistakes. Meanwhile, after the co-worker drives the van away, he returns and discovers that Michael has disappeared. Meanwhile, Joey is completely unaware of this. She and her co-worker are still cleaning the windows down below. Earlier, her boss told her that there were traces of bird collisions on the 51st floor and that they needed to be cleaned up immediately. The boss also urges them via headset to work faster because the party is about to start. Very quickly, the two separate. The male co-worker goes up while Joey goes down. At this time, the party is still in the process of being prepared. The waiters are putting drinks on the tables, and Jeffrey and Gerald are rehearsing their speeches. Very quickly, evening arrives. In the brightly lit hall, the shareholders start arriving one by one, but Joey is still hanging outside the building. She doesn't know that Michael has actually arrived. Joey hasn't finished her shift yet, and doing so could easily get her fired. Joey's worried and gets a bit sharp with her words, and she almost gets into an argument with Michael. Michael's anger flares up, and he turns and walks away. Joey's hanging outside the building and can't chase after him. She can only hurry up and finish her work and pray that Michael doesn't run off. But her boss, wanting to make sure Joey finishes the job before leaving, deliberately cuts off Joey's elevator access. She doesn't realize that an accident is about to happen. Joey slips and accidentally drops a tool from her hand off the building. It hits an unsuspecting pedestrian. Just as the unlucky person is getting help, a delivery van arrives in front of the company gate. A group of masked people gets out of the van, led by the company's own employees, who have secretly infiltrated the energy building under the guise of a performance team. Meanwhile, Joey has finally finished cleaning all the bird poop. She hurriedly calls her boss to be let up. Unexpectedly, Joey's boss wants to teach her a lesson for being disobedient. After Joey keeps persistently requesting, the boss finally presses the elevator control. But before Joey can fully get up, suddenly the group of masked people enters the control room and headshot Joey's boss. The elevator basket suddenly stops as the masked people start cleaning up the body. They accidentally press the elevator control again. And no matter how many times Joey calls, it's no use. She gets lowered back to her original position. At this point, the control room has been taken over by the masked people. While at the shareholder party, Jeffrey is busy socializing with the guests. However, he can't find Gerald anywhere. Jeffrey asks the secretary and learns at such an important time, Gerald is in a room joking around with an influencer. Jeffrey is furious, but he can only maintain the smile on his face. At this point, the performance team has finally arrived. The secretary then announces that Jeffrey will take the stage to speak, and they will perform immediately after Jeffrey. But as soon as the masked people enter the room, they lock eyes with Jeffrey. When Jeffrey prepares to go on stage, one of the masked people seems to accidentally block his path a few times, only then yielding a way for him to pass. Jeffrey curses under his breath as he steps onto stage. Jeffrey is a more eloquent speaker than Gerald. With just a few words, he makes the shareholders burst out laughing. At this point, the female robber in the control room announces to the others that the first step of the plan is complete. Then, the robbers start clapping and move towards the front of the stage. Meanwhile, Michael notices that a fog is starting to spread. He quickly finds a safe room to hide in and uses a towel to block the gap under the door. However, the others in the company aren't so lucky. After inhaling the strange gas, they start coughing violently and then fall unconscious. Meanwhile, Joey, who was forced to stay outside the building, has escaped the accident. She looks at the thick fog and the people lying unconscious on the ground and immediately realizes that something serious is happening inside the building. After checking, she sees that the elevator basket is still fairly stable. Joey prepares to climb up to check out the situation. At this point, all the major shareholders in the hall have put on oxygen masks. Before long, they wake up and the masked people tie them up and line them up in a row. Then, they take out the weapons hidden in the insulated boxes. The female robber reminds her comrades that the effects of the drug will wear off after 4 hours, and she has locked the elevator and doors on the party floor. preventing all calls and communication. The party hall has now become the robbers' territory. But no one expected that these words had gone to the headset and directly into Joey's ear. The leader of the masked group announces to the shareholders that they are the Earth Revolution organization, and tonight's takeover will mark the beginning of a new era. If the shareholders behave well, they may have a chance to witness that day. The leader starts checking according to the photos in his phone. Finally, he realizes that Gerald has disappeared. He sternly asks Jeffrey, "Where's Gerald? Where did he run off to?" Jeffrey doesn't need to endure torture. Just reveal where Gerald is. Coincidentally, Joey has just climbed up to the floor where Gerald is. She witnesses the scene of the masked people entering to capture Gerald. The masked men throw Gerald into a window. Gerald also sees Joey outside. He wants to shout for help, but Noah, who has removed his mask, doesn't hear anything. As a result, Gerald is dragged away by Noah. Joey witnesses everything and rushes back to the elevator basket. Joey shouts for help below, but the floor she's on is too high, and the people below can't hear her cries for help. Joey quickly changes direction and tries to restart the elevator mechanism, but fails. She quickly calms down and thinks of another way to call for help. Meanwhile, Michael, who is still awake in the room, is anxiously searching for a solution. He opens a door to look outside, and Joey slides down the rope, looking for another way to help. Meanwhile, Noah has brought Gerald to the party. Marcus, the leader of the group, sees this and tells Noah to make Gerald look more presentable. Noah reluctantly complies. With all the shareholders gathered, the masked group finally prepares to reveal their purpose. "Just let us go. Whatever you want to steal, just say it." They say, "You think we want your money? We're trying to save the world." The leader of the robbers declares loudly. Then, the female robber replaces the fake advertisements and announces information that the company is polluting the environment. The company has discharged billions of gallons of waste from just one factory, completely destroying the local ecosystem. When a woman objects to being captured, saying she wants to use her court case to expose what Jeffrey and Gerald have done to the world. However, as a result, she was killed by the henchmen of the two brothers, and such tragedies happen almost every month. These brothers have committed countless crimes without facing any legal consequences, but tonight they must be held accountable. In other words, these masked people belong to a more extreme environmental group. The leader is forcing the shareholders to confess all the crimes they have committed. If they want to survive, they will have to record and then publicize their crimes. Jeffrey still wants to continue negotiating, but he's immediately killed by Noah. The leader hurriedly pulls Noah outside. They had previously agreed not to kill people indiscriminately, but Noah acted so recklessly. After witnessing the entire scene, Joey returns to the elevator basket. She uses bearing lubricant as ink to paint an emergency signal on the glass. Then, she uses a lighter to set it on fire. This immediately attracts someone's attention. The female robber quickly discovers it and hurriedly informs the leader. The leader orders them to find the window washer and notify the police that they are holding hostages. Noah quickly finds Joey and orders the female robber to pull her up, but Joey has stuck a screwdriver into the pulley to stop the elevator. Gerald suddenly tries to escape in the chaos, but the leader quickly discovers him. At this point, Noah has also arrived. He intends to act, but at this point, Noah declares that he is now the real leader. Immediately, Noah kills the leader. He has been secretly seizing leadership for a long time. Then, Noah forces a female robber to work for him, and anyone who objects to Noah is shot dead. Next, the leader's body is thrown out the window, falling right onto the elevator basket. The elevator basket tilts even further. Joey has no choice but to move to the other side. She sees that the leader's gun has fallen down. Joey has to carefully turn back, and luckily, she manages to grab the gun. Suddenly, she looks up and sees Michael, but right after, Noah turns back. Michael immediately retreats to hide. Noah threatens to harm Michael to force Joey to come back inside the building. Suddenly, the sound of police sirens echoes nearby, but the Minister of Energy is in the process of confessing to corruption. Noah needs to find a way to stall for time. There's a crazy woman outside the Agnian building. She has a gun. She said, "Kill people. You have to come right away. Right away." Noah says, then threatens Joey with Michael's safety. Noah forces Joey to shoot all the bullets at the people below. Joey is forced to comply. However, with her accurate shooting skills, she doesn't harm any innocent people. At this point, helicopters and police cars surround the building. Commanding Officer Claire has arrived on the scene to take charge. Her subordinates quickly report the situation to her. The shooter is a former Special Forces soldier, and a sniper is ready, waiting for the order to act. Joey will be killed immediately, but Claire feels that something is wrong. Although Joey's military record isn't that outstanding, the emergency signal on the glass was placed by her, and she also didn't harm anyone when shooting. So, Claire directs that no action should be taken without her order. However, right now, Claire's subordinate reports that Joey's account has just received a huge sum of money, $33 million. The sender is Gerald, who is obviously done by Noah. Meanwhile, Joey is also thinking of a way to save herself. She takes the phone from the leader's body, but this action also causes the elevator basket to completely lose its balance. Joey luckily manages to hold onto the safety rope and quickly calls the emergency number. She successfully contacts Claire and informs her that there are many armed extremist elements in the building. After hanging up, Joey finds an opportunity to climb back into the elevator basket. Claire, based on the information that Joey provided, quickly checks Noah's personal information. Noah was previously a member of an anti-humanitarian group. He believes that humanity is a disaster for the world, a type of cancer and virus that needs to be controlled by extreme measures. To stop the human virus, Noah joined the Earth Revolution organization. However, this organization has never caused any deaths before. It's very likely that the leader was killed by Noah himself. Under Noah's leadership, this organization has become more extreme. When Claire contacts Noah, he says, "I have strapped explosives to all the hostages. If anyone attacks and causes my heart to stop beating, then this entire building will automatically explode and be blown to smithereens." Meanwhile, the SWAT team is secretly approaching the building, but they are quickly discovered by Noah. Claire has no choice but to order the SWAT team to retreat from the building's gate. However, right after, 5 SWAT officers are blown away by a bomb. Joey witnesses this scene and hurriedly contacts Claire again. Knowing that the police can't do anything because of the bombs, Joey may be the only hope. Claire warns Joey that Noah knows everything that's happening outside and can control the company's control room. But just as the two are discussing countermeasures, Claire notices a bomb falling right on top of Joey. She immediately warns Joey to run. Joey quickly crawls along the edge of the window to avoid the bomb. Claire tricks Noah by saying that Joey's been blown away, but Noah isn't so easily fooled. Now, the only thing left is Gerald's testimony. Noah orders a subordinate female robber to check if the window washer outside is dead. Then, Noah starts dealing with Gerald. Gerald refuses to cooperate. He's really afraid that if he speaks up, it will lead to his death at Noah's hands. On the other hand, at Joey's request, the sniper has fired a few holes into the tempered glass. Joey then takes a tool and smashes the glass to enlarge the broken area. Claire, on the phone, is very worried because with just a little instability, Joey could fall to her death. She tries to reassure Joey and calm her anxious emotions with words. Joey starts to reminisce about the past. She saw her father get angry with everyone in the family, but she didn't care. Whenever her parents argued about Michael, Joey would open the window and climb outside. But today, Michael is in great danger. Joey is desperately smashing the window to climb inside. Meanwhile, under Noah's assurance, Gerald has finally begun to confess his crimes, and Claire calls Noah back. The effects of the drug on the hostages are about to wear off. Unexpectedly, Noah has planned to withdraw with the hostages and demands that the police prepare vehicles. When leaving the safe area, Noah will release half of the hostages. To release all the hostages, they need to stay away from this building, and the entire truth of the hostages' crimes needs to be publicized. Meanwhile, Joey is still breaking the window, unaware that the female robber is approaching her. At a crucial moment, Michael smashes the glass to save Joey. The two hug each other and quickly leave just before the female robber can find them. However, Noah has learned that Joey is still alive. He angrily questions Claire why she's untrustworthy. Claire lies that she didn't know this, and the actions of the third party are not related to the police. Meanwhile, Joey and Michael are running towards the control room. They need to quickly disable the surveillance elevator and door system to create an opportunity for the police to rescue the hostages. However, the female robber is still relentlessly pursuing them. The two find a hiding place, but very quickly, someone comes in to look for them. Joey immediately runs out to attract attention, then unexpectedly attacks and eliminates 2 hitmen. But unexpectedly, there's another female robber. Joey uses steam to burn her face, and then subdues her in a fit of rage. After all, Joey passed a Marine Corps selection exam. Finally, Michael uses a bomb to blow the female robber out of the building. Meanwhile, The female robber has encrypted all the video evidence and posted it to public platforms. However, she has discovered Noah's video. Turns out, Noah still believes that humanity is a virus, and he never intended to let anyone survive. Noah wants to blow up everyone in the building. The female robber is immediately angry and intends to run, but she is shot twice. It was Joey who arrived to kill this guy. The two successfully entered the control room. Fortunately, Michael is very proficient in this field. After a few operations, he disabled the firewall set up by the female robber. The two take the encrypted hard drive and leave the control room. Joey quickly informs Claire that Noah intends to blow everyone up. Now that the control room is empty, they can bring people in. Joey is confident in dealing with Noah. She asks Claire to ensure Michael's safety and save as many people as possible. Joey reassures Michael and tells him to get to safety by the elevator. When Noah learns of Joey's actions, he and several subordinates chase her. Meanwhile, a large number of SWAT officers have stormed the building. Claire specifically emphasizes that they must not shoot Noah because if his heart rate stops, things will get worse. Joey used a small trick to take down one enemy, but very quickly, another enemy arrived. Joey diverted his attention, then attacked with fire axe. SWAT officers shot the criminals in the party hall. Before long, the hostages begin to wake up. However, the bomb situation is still very critical. All hope is placed on Joey. Joey raises her gun and searches, easily identifying Noah's location. He takes advantage of the fact that Joey doesn't dare to kill him and acts recklessly. Joey is forced to take a beating while trying to prevent Noah from doing something rash. However, she finds opportunity to snatch his bracelet, but is immediately grabbed by Noah and pulled down. Joey takes a piece of glass, cuts the rope, and then kicks Noah down. When Noah thinks she will save him, but Joey has already gotten the bracelet. So Joey sends him to meet his maker. Finally, tonight's crisis has been resolved. Joey goes downstairs to meet Claire. Michael is also safe. Claire also informs Joey that superiors have requested the encrypted hard drive to publicize the dirty secrets. Finally, this incident has exposed the truth about corruption at the highest levels of the energy industry. These people will also face appropriate punishment. The story ends here.